are 30 miles out of Santa Cruz Island, and the wind completely died. It's like glass out here. The moon is almost full and it's up. It looks pretty amazing. We had a really nice sunset. It was kind of hazy, but it still looked really pretty. And there's a little bit of a roll, but not bad. And our only issue is that because we left earlier than we anticipated, we are going to get there earlier than we want. It's going to be like in the middle of the night, so we may have to just bob around outside. I don't think either one of us are very comfortable going into the Anchorage. We've never been to it at night, so we'll just wait for daylight and see what happens. But we made water. We got full tanks, got the water heater on since we have the motor anyway. We did sail for a little bit. I was hoping to do, almost the whole trip. Actually, the grid that we downloaded, the estimate was 70% of the time we'd be sailing or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was 70% we could sail. So we were kind of excited about that, but did not turn out to be that way. This is the first time we've been out and the water has been this glassy and smooth.
It's crazy flat.
It is. Yeah, like I said, there's a little bit of swell. I just changed our course a little bit and actually seems a little better. We have 4.5 knots of wind. We are going 6. So we have 0 wind. That's what that means.
Jenny made a pizza. Jenny cooked while we were underway, actually.
Sailing,
yeah. In a gimbaled oven. So that worked out. Yeah, other than that, no. It was nice for a while. We were making some good time. And then slowly we petered off. The autopilot kept correcting and correcting and correcting, and pretty soon we ended up heading due south. And at about 1.5 knots, we decided to kick on the engine. The furling line got stuck, and it like jumped out of the cage. So that was weird. I had to go forward and get that sail twisted in, but luckily it was pretty benign conditions in order to do it. It would have been bad if we were in a gale. That Schaefer furler's always been a bit finicky. Cat was chilling when we were sailing.
I wish I'd gotten video of it.
But well, I should have filmed you guys because Jenny and Twitchell were both downstairs sawing logs for a little bit. Seems like we're about halfway there?
Yeah.
Not even. It's we're 31 miles into about a 70-mile passage, so.
And what hour are we on?
6, a little over 6 hours traveling. We actually have cell signal out here. I got a text message that was sent to me like 4 hours ago, and it was the guys on MIG, Norm and Topher, wondering what we were up to, because they had initially were going to come to Coches Prietos with us, and then it got dark, and they went ahead and sailed on past and landed in Ventura. And then we were thinking about bugging out and going to Ventura or maybe Long Beach, and the weather just stayed nice and nice and nice. And yeah, what were there 5 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got lucky, but it picked up this morning, and we figured if we got to shorten our scope or anything like that, we might as well just pick up and move. It's a nice night for a moonlight sail.
It's 8:46 p.m. We got a full moon still. Very, very bright out here. We've had almost no wind since 1.
The wind died at
like 1 or something.
I think we sailed until about 2:30 or so.
I don't even think it was that long. So we've been motoring since then, and the wind just kicked up. I kind of been keeping my eye on it, and it's been kind of going up to 8, going up to 9. Finally, I saw some 10s, and now we're at what? 13?
It's 15.
We have 15. Now we've got 15.
14.9. Yeah, we're right there at 15 knots.
Yeah.
Nice
So
number.
we've got the main and the staysail up. I think we're going to leave the jib roll just because that furler is kind of acting funky. And we're really early. I mean, we got time to burn. So we'll just go 3 knots and see how that goes.
What do we got, about 18, 20 miles to Cat?
It is 10:30 at night. We are 15 miles or so from Catalina. and the wind really piped up, so we put the sails up, and then we immediately reefed because it's dark. We were going a little faster than we wanted just because we don't want to get there in the middle of the night. I actually put 2 reefs in, and we're still going 4 knots. So we've got sustained about 15, 16 knots and gusting to 20. I did see a 20 at one point. Pretty comfortable. Harbor, and we are going to shore. So we anchored here yesterday morning about 7, and there we are anchored back here. And we were just dead beat, so we just played up a little bit, hung out all day, did nothing. So today we're going to go to shore and check it out. It's a little bit breezy. I think I'm going to get splashed. Pretty sure no one's going to steal. But I guess better safe than sorry. Nobody else has anything locked. We're the only ones.
Yeah.
That's a week's worth of garbage. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually pretty light. This is laundry.
Yeah, I heard there was laundry here.
Yeah.
We have some coins.
Yeah. Out of order.
Oh, machine. Oh, we could wash. This is 2 harbors. Clearly the off season.
It's a quiet little Monday.
Yeah. There's scuba tanks right there.
Yeah. Here's the Harbor Reef restaurant.
Store.
That's the store over here.
Yeah. Ooh, we have cakes and stuff. Little desserts. Prices are outrageous, what you'd expect.
Well, we never were much for crowds, so I guess it's the off season.
Look at that clear water.
I know, this water looks pristine, man. Well, we could see our anchor bridle 30 feet down.
We were hoping to grab a burger or something, but nothing was open. I think tonight the restaurant opens at 5. So I don't know. We're gonna be here for a couple days, so we might go back. But we just basically walked around. We walked up the hill. We looked at 4th of July Harbor. Looks really nice over there, but I think it's controlled by the yacht club. I'll have to double check. There's only one boat moored up there. I think you have to moor too. So it doesn't look like there's any place to anchor. From what I've heard, that these mooring balls here, where we are like $67 flat rate for boats of our size. Which is kind of a lot, I think. especially when it's kind of calm out in harbor, out in Anchorage. We're gonna go back to the boat, maybe have some lunch. I'm thinking I might try to clean this side of the boat today. We'll see.
Gonna fly away. You can go along. Gonna find a life like this where we belong. Where we belong. Where we belong.
What are you growling at? She's growling at you.
Got the whole harbor out here. And this guy anchors up 20 feet off our bow.
So we're watching this guy here. He came in, we didn't see him come in, and he anchored on top of us practically. Woke up this morning, he was about 8 feet from our bowsprit. So we woke him up. It's 9 o'clock. And he came out and he's like, oh, I'll just pull up my anchor a little bit. He's got about a 1-to-1 scope, I think. So he pulled on the anchor and he just started drifting. Evidently, he doesn't even have a motor. So he has to sail off anchor. And there he goes. Looked like he had a problem getting that sail as far up as it is. Something was jammed. He was working on it. He looked a little panicked at one point. This is a pretty big area. He could anchor anywhere. But he probably doesn't have any electronics. Probably doesn't have a depth gauge. He just sees a boat anchored and he's like, well, that looks like the place to anchor. So I'm going to anchor next to them.
Might as well raft up with us, dude.
Yeah. So I'm going to anchor next to them and because it looks safe, which I get it. You know, it's if you don't have any electronics or you don't have a chart or you don't, whatever, you don't know where the rocks are because there are rocks close by, then that's what you want to do, I guess.
So yesterday we picked up our anchor and moved because we were right on this foul area and right at the edge of the foul. And I was swimming. I was out diving and I looked and it was like 8 feet deep and I could see our boat was probably 30 feet away from the rocks. And we probably would have cleared. We would have cleared on our swing, but
30 feet.
it was
30 feet from the underneath ones.
from the submerged rocks. Yeah. We were swinging pretty close to it. So we picked up and we actually anchored, moved over further into the middle into like 50 feet of water. And now it looks like he's anchored right on top of that foul. We'll see what happens when he tears his rudder off on this freaking rock. So we went on the south side of the island for like a week and came over here yesterday and dropped our anchor in 35 feet of water and we could see the puff of sand when it hit the bottom. I went out yesterday and did a little diving and saw some fat calicos out here and couldn't hit a single one of them. So I'm just changing the shooting line on my gun.
So it's the gun's fault.
I'm not saying this. Hey, there's a lot of people who are a lot better than me that say calico is some of the most challenging fish to shoot. They're very crafty and they're not dumb. It's like glass. It's really flat. This is a good side of the island. It was real silty where we were. Cat Harbor was a little bit dirty. Totally different. Not a lot of kelp. Rocky bottom. Fish were out in the open. They were a little easier to shoot.
People were getting halibut, though.
Yeah, there were some guys hooking line and halibut still, and usually they're out of here by now. Point that out there. Look at that.
What?
You got dolphins. Oh, wow. Yeah, there you go.
They've just been patrolling around here.
Yeah, I got to get in the water and go swimming with them. shooting a little 90 centimeter rail gun, Rob Allen snapper, and got it at the free dive shop in Sacramento. Best dive shop in Northern California, absolutely. Greg and Vanessa, been friends with them for a long time. They host tournaments up in the north. We'd have spearfishing tournaments and ab diving tournaments years ago. When all my guns and wetsuits and stuff burned up in the shed, they hooked us up. I had a bunch of gift certificates from the free dive shop, so that was like Rich's go-to Christmas present, and then it just stacked up, and all of a sudden I look and I've got a few $100. Gun, wetsuit, fins, mask.
Thanks, family.
Yeah, thanks, family. I had to replace everything. Everything burned up in the shed. In homemade guns that I've killed rad fish with. Gone.
All right, so you got Rob Allen.
Yeah, it's a little 2-band gun. It's fast. I'm still not used to shooting these rail guns. I've always shot big, heavy wood guns in the past, and these little things are different. You aim differently. You just kind of point it in the general direction, and I seem to be missing quite a bit. So I'm going to go out and practice. Plus, I'm not real fond of the closed muzzle design where the spear and everything fits inside this tube.
Why?
Just the way the shooting line wraps. That's why I'm changing the shooting line, is because of the crimp. The crimp was getting hung up, so you got to feed this thing in when you're reloading it. And one thing I'm not particularly fond of is when this crimp comes through here, and the ones I have for 400-pound mono are big fat aluminum ones. So the spear and the crimp have to come through this tube at the same time. And it seems like, as I'm watching it, as I'm shooting it, it seems like it's like halting or slowing it down or some way deflecting it, and that must be throwing off my aim. So
Must be.
I got some 200-pound mono. It's thinner, more flexible, and I've got some smaller crimps, so I'm gonna rig this thing up and jump in the water.
Next time on SBRO.
Well, I am, but okay, reverse flavors.
Santa,
Yeah.
won't you listen to
Let's go ahead and see what they got.
I got a feeling that
Please don't mind if I film you, do.
No, not at all.
We need to sign them all to release.
Send it to Tia Sally and Uncle Bruce. That's all the history I got.
me too in that bag.
The extent of his stuff for
That's the extent of
That's the hub.
Santa, won't you let me explain? I thought these rules of yours were just fun and games, so I'm a little bit naughty, maybe not very.
Anyway, battery shelf,
Must be a gift for me
battery,
tonight.
DC to DC charger.
So the boat projects continue here on SB Ramble On. So what are you working on now?
Trying to get more power.
More power.
We need more cowbell. And I'm kind of making this up as I go along, which is pretty much what I do.
You're gonna give me something good when you go. Keep those 2 turtle doves and that old pear tree. I know that big red bag has something special for me.